For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. Across the land, all across the world, echoes of voices, we join hand in hand. How many rise in the afternoon sun? Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Truth from St. Lucia to sandy shores, from cities and hills to the Caribbean breeze. We sing together, hearts at ease, education to open every mind. Learn about your country, leave no one behind. When NewsSpin is on your radio, come along hands in hands, voices in unity, singing loud. NewsSpin, News the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. St. Lucian's heart to the world's every land. Knowledge unites us hand in hand. Yeah, Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. NewsSpin is on education for all, from city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light the world with our flame. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Yeah, NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world.
A special prosecutor who existed only in name and memory, recent memory, seems to be very active these days, and that is on the cusp of a general election. We have possibly a record number of independent candidates contesting the upcoming general election in St. Lucia. And this great orange wall, focus on it during the course of our program, right here on the most monitored talk show in the world. And NewsSpin is on TuneIn, it's on Radio Garden, it's on Power 97.9 FM. It is on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Our usual request, please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. And during the course of the broadcast, Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat rooms and be providing us with updates. We also have active discussion taking place in the NewsSpin WhatsApp group, and I'll be taking your calls as well. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. There's a little over a year ago, a good friend confided in me, and the individual said, you know, I'm monitoring the office of the special prosecutor from afar, he told me. And he said that the gentleman in question is hardly at work, is hardly on duty. Don't know, maybe he was working from home. So appears he has nothing to do. You remember that famous address that was delivered by the special prosecutor, giving the impression that he was helpless, he did not have much evidence, and therefore give the impression that there'll not be much prosecuting to do. Well, it's been a miracle of sorts. And of late, you heard only yesterday from Mrs. Nancy Charles calling the broadcast and saying that she has been visited by a police officer, contacted by officials from the special prosecutor's office, and interviewed. And now we are hearing again from another United Workers' Party official, and that is Leonard Spider Motut, contacted by a police officer as well. Now this is passing strange, because they don't tell me that you've been appointed from November of 2023, and about 2 years later, we are preparing for a general election, and you have those, all of a sudden, you're contacting officials of the opposition. Gives the impression, if you're a reasonable individual, that those people are being the subjects of a witch hunt. And I don't believe that acts of that nature will determine the outcome of the next general election. Because the citizenry, the voters, have every reason or reasons to be suspicious and to ask the question, why now? If there was so much speculation that the previous administration was rife with corruption and they were committing acts of corruption, one certainly got the impression that it would not have been so difficult for the special prosecutor to get involved in the necessary muckraking that was required to unearth the misdeeds of certain elements who operated within the previous administration. When a government gets into office and the government sets its agenda, especially when it comes to fighting corruption, you have to pay very close attention to the maneuverings of that administration. Because very often, whether it's UWP or SLP, they are on a witch hunt. But unfortunately, it appears that they are not that skillful, at least in masking whatever misdeeds that they want to engage in terms of trying their utmost to sully the reputation of their opponents. Because it appears they want to do it with too much haste. They end up being careless and not calculated. I mean, a few weeks before general election, your office is contacting certain members of the opposition, and you believe that that will not cause eyebrows to be raised? Most people, I think, in this society are reasonable. And in most instances, this is not aimed at determining the guilt or innocence of these individuals. It is primarily aimed at embarrassing them. It is primarily aimed at giving the governing side some kind of unfair advantage. The same way, ruling politicians, they have a tendency to paint their opponents with a broad tar brush. Oh, those guys are corrupt. These individuals are corrupt. Impugning the character of their opponents. And this is not with a view or determination to haul those individuals before the courts. It is not to find them guilty. It's not to send them to bodily. It is just aimed at embarrassing them and hoping that they will benefit out of this politically. So let's listen to Leonard Spider Montoot speaking last evening on his program, Tell It Like It Is, an experience he had recently.
So El Kwapu will go to New York. And like I said, instead of enjoying his last trip to New York, he's going to say to the gathering that, we put the special prosecutor in place. So we did our part. The Prime Minister did his part. And we cannot do this and we cannot do that. What has to be done now is you have to bring the report to the special prosecutor. I know they have questioned two of them. They have brought one in for question and they questioned another. He's talking about Nancy Charles and myself. I don't know how Nancy feels about it, but I am repulsed by it, and I'm going to say to you all, I resent that attempt to intimidate me. I resent that attempt to try to instill fear in me. I resent that attempt of that disrespect that you all have shown me by thinking that you all can intimidate me. No, you can't. And I'm saying to you all, that will not work. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid. When they come with their money and they try to buy your vote, because that's another approach they're using, apart from the lies and the intimidation, the fear tactics, they are going to try to buy your votes. They're going to use your own money that they extorted from you through high taxes, through imposition of 2.5% that was never meant for security and health, by causing the price of gas to be artificially high when the price of oil on the international market is low. They extorted that money from you. And the CIP money that none of us know what has become of it, they're using some of that money to try to buy your vote. I say to you, it is your money. So if you choose, take it. Eat them out. Drink them out. And when December 1st comes, vote them out. That is the treatment they deserve, and that is the treatment we have to give them. And in so doing, you will ensure that you return decency, civility, and honor to government in this country. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when Richard Frederick is going to sit there and make his claims, I want to say to Richard Frederick, be careful what you'll ask for, because you all establish the office of the special prosecutor. After election, there will be a special prosecutor. Let us hope that you all do not have special cases that will find itself before a real, genuine, bona fide special prosecutor and deal with you all accordingly, make you all pay for the sins that you all have committed while you all are there judging people by your own dirty actions. Ladies and gentlemen, now I just want to say something to the police. Again, I will not call the name of the police, though I know his name. He disclosed who he was to me. But unlike Ernest Healy, who mentioned Officer Clark, okay, putting him in jeopardy by so doing, okay, and prejudicing the mind of the public against the gentleman while the gentleman was doing his job. I take it, I give the police officer the benefit of the doubt. I take it that he was doing his job, he was sent to do that, so he came to do it. And so, the police officer, I will not call his name, did one thing that I did not appreciate. Because while he said to me, I was not under investigation, when I pointed out to him that he should not be questioning me, because he was out of order to question me if he knows what the role of a minister is, he said to me, he just want to have a talk with me. It's not anything. I'm not under investigation. Just want to have a talk with me, and so on. Most of his questions, obviously, I could not answer because I was not in any position to answer. So he took notes of the I don't knows, and I can't remember anything like that. At one time, he asked me about something that took place 2 days before election. I said, well, that's a ludicrous question. How could you ask me that when the House would have been dissolved? I would no longer have been minister. I would have no jurisdiction over the ministry. How you expect me to be able to answer a question like that? The officer left, apparently went to the Grosley police station, that I assume, made a print out of a document and came to me and asked me to sign it. I asked him what it was. He said, just I'm signing the conversation that we had and so on. So I asked him for a copy for myself. His response to me was that he does not owe it to me to give me a copy. I said, well, fine, I don't owe it to you to sign any document. But I said, well, let me have a look at the document nonetheless. I took the document and I'm seeing he's asking me to sign a witness form. So I said, but since when did I agree to be a witness to anything? Or what made me a witness to anything in the first place? Now, I did not appreciate that because I felt that I was being coerced into a trap if I did not have the presence of mind to read the document before I signed it. And that I was hoping that the police officer was not under false pretense trying to lure me into putting myself in a position where I would have to be party to their kangaroo court so that my name would be mentioned. And even if I know, and those who understand law know, that nothing would come out of it, but by the time that case would have been heard, the rumors and propaganda would have been there, Spider and in court, and the assumptions and the speculations and all of that, it would have done for them the political damage that they would want done. And so I did not sign the document. And like I said, and I'm going to repeat, they can go to hell. Don't come in front of me with that nonsense again. Okay? I know my rights, and I understand what you all are doing. Like I told the police officer, I don't know if you are party to it, but if you're not, understand that I know and I understand that this is a political witch hunt that is taking place, and at this point in time, it is desperation time for the St. Lucia Labour Party, and they are trying to pull another fast one on the public of St. Lucia.
Leonard Spider Motut, PRO of the opposition, UWP, speaking last evening on his program, Tell It Like It Is. In the chat room, by the way, on Facebook, somebody said, well, I said it before, that on the 11th hour, the special prosecutor would be pointing fingers because they are learning from the United States 2016 general election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. When James Comey, the former FBI director, came out on the eve of the general election when Hillary Clinton was leading Donald Trump, and as soon as the FBI director came out and said that they have evidence against Hillary Clinton, right away her popularity / support dropped and Donald Trump took over. And up to this day, this government actions and behavior has been that of Donald Trump, the insults, attacks, name-calling, racism, above the law attitude, no accountability, integrity, and doesn't answer to no one. That's the attitude of Donald Trump, and this government is no different. That's according to a comment on the Facebook page. So governments have a tendency to do that, hoping that this will resonate with the public. And those people who are restive, anxiously looking forward to anyone, particularly those on the opposition side, being arrested, charged, all before the court, sent to the prison, I almost said the gallows, for acts of corruption. They're just trying to please the base, please their audience in particular, those people who are howling for blood for so long. Imagine we have a special prosecutor and he's not finding anybody to arrest and to find guilty, as if this ought to be a premeditated act. The fact that you have hurled accusations and allegations at people does not mean they are guilty. This individual is a thief. This guy stole money. This individual there is corrupt, etc. We've been hearing it from both sides for so long. The Opposition United Workers' Party right now is accusing the government of acts of corruption. Where's the evidence? And vice versa. Where is the evidence? And all of a sudden, you hear from the governing side, you members of the public, despite they are the ones who have been hurling the accusations, making the unfounded claims, they're now calling on you, the members of the public, to assist them, to come forward with the evidence, with information. I'm looking forward to hearing from you in just a moment, but let us hear now from the leader of the parliamentary opposition, part of an address he delivered last night to the nation.
On day one, we will eliminate the 2.5% tax that has been driving up the cost of living and making everyday life harder for you. We'll make St. Lucia safe again. No more excuses. No more escalated crime zones. Our comprehensive national crime plan will leave no stone unturned, from securing our borders to providing our police with the tools and support they need to protect you and your family. Every neighborhood, every community will be safe. We'll restore quality, affordable health care. Every St. Lucian will have health insurance. You choose your doctor. You get care when you need it. Covered up to $75,000 annually. And St. Jude Hospital, we will finish it once and for all. No more delays, no more broken promises. For our young people, free tertiary education will ensure that every student at Sir Arthur Lewis Community College has access to knowledge, skills, and opportunity to build a better future. We will launch a digital learning academy, the first of its kind in St. Lucia, offering certification in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, programming, and robotics. Our $25,000 youth startup grant will improve young entrepreneurs to turn ideas into businesses, especially in the creative industries, technology, agriculture, and hospitality. And through our mortgage guarantee program, we'll open the doors to ownership by helping young first-time buyers finally achieve their dream of owning affordable starter homes. Importantly, a United Workers' Party administration will honor and commit to making public servants' positions permanent and commitments to provide Christmas bonuses. In fact, under a UWP government, we will explore ways through dialogue to ensure civil servants receive an annual bonus they can count on every single year. That's just the start.
I just heard there from the leader of the parliamentary opposition and former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Alan Shastin. Let's hear from you right now at 452-2979. Once again, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And let's see if we go through some of your messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, are we to understand that the Special Prosecutor's Office is being paid by us and this office is dormant, only now working as the election is near? A question being asked by someone via WhatsApp message. And let us see if we have some more of your messages. Somebody says there, bonjour, and to you and the NewsSpin team. That's an allegation that's being made, and we can't prove it. Tickets are being paid by the Labour Party for people to come to vote for them. The representatives abroad asked for passport info to pay the tickets for those who want to come to vote for them. Of course, to be verified. Let's take a call. Let's see if we get a call via WhatsApp. Okay, we just lost that call. Let's try again. Hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Saudi fue.
Oui, moi là. Ça ou même fait?
Bonne nouvelle, moi là, gâché de WhatsApp.
Oui, moi là aussi.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
So I see you're familiar with Upton St. Clair team with the Macquarie kid.
Yes, sir. Very much so.
Sadly, the only two people we have doing that in the country right now that Rick is retired is Dale Elliott and Lisa Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
That's missing in journalism in our country.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tim, allow me to make a contribution. Tim, if you're stuck, well, these are not my original thoughts, but I read it or heard it somewhere and it stuck with me for a long time. And allow me to use this analogy because I think it's the first time I've ever used it in my life. Tim, if you're stuck in a forest, in the dark, and your only way out is to hold the hand of a blind old man who for his entire life has felt his way around the forest, Tim, wouldn't you do it? You would be actually really stupid not to, right?
Well, I'll have my doubts, you know. I'll think twice.
No, because, well, you can't see, but because of his experience, he can guide you. He can guide you out of the forest, right?
I tell you, I'll think
You'd be
twice.
foolish not to hold his. You'd be foolish not to hold his hand, Tim.
Yeah, but after thinking a whole lot about it.
Okay, what do you think? But Tim, when the dawn comes, Tim, and the light starts to peep through the forest, through the woods, Tim, you would also be more foolish to keep on holding to that man's hand, you know, Tim.
Why?
If you understand what I mean, Tim. Because now what we have, Tim, is a blind old man in Philip J. Tim, who's leading our country, who for his entire political career he's not been a leader. I don't know of one bill he ever championed. I don't know of anything Philip J. ever do politically except be Kenny Anthony's little moose boy. And all of a sudden, we have this blind old man leading us. But I'm here to tell St. Lucia that the flambeau light is showing through the woods now. Now it's time for us to let go of the blind old man's hand, okay? And make our way through the woods using our own eyesight. Okay, Tim, and as for the witch hunt now on Spider and Nancy and the UWP team, we only see these type of things in countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, etc. Tim. In democratic countries, these things are not supposed to happen, Tim. Because the special prosecutor came out and said how he cannot do anything with cases that were there before 2021 and so on and so forth. And now all of a sudden, he's not making a 180, he's making a 360 and going back to 2011 and all kind of puppy show he's doing with himself. Why? Why is the Labour Party doing that? I mean, come on. We live in 2025. People have, everything is everywhere now. Everything they're doing is being done in the clear light of day. You cannot hide anything anymore. Everything you do, Tim, it's in the clear light of day.
I mean, it's just too obvious. As far as the special prosecutor is concerned, it is too obvious what the intentions are. It is basically to cast aspersion, to give the impression, because in St. Lucia, an accusation for most people amounts to guilt. If somebody accuses anybody in the previous administration of acts of corruption, there are people in this country who are very gullible, and so gullible to the extent that they say this amounts to guilt. Not suspicion, but guilt.
I was just explaining the very same thing to a friend of mine who's a Labour Party supporter. He claims he's not a supporter, but I know he's pro-Labour. And I'm saying to him, majority of St. Lucians do not take their time to do any digging. and I use an example to him. I said, how many acres of land was leased to T.O.Akim in Vieux Fort? Okay, I say nobody takes the time to go into the land registry and find out. Everybody just repeats what Richard says on Thursday. Oh, 1,000 acres, 1,000. And I said to him, if you go around the country, 70% of the people who ask that question is going to tell you 1,000 acres thing. Whether they are labor or flambeau, they don't read, they don't do any. It's just the sheep mentality. Whatever is a popular narrative, they just run with it. No one takes the time to do, as you say, the muck raking. No one wants to go in the muck and look through it and find out, at least, if it's not the complete truth, but some semblance of truth, Tim. No one wants to do that, Tim. They just leave it up to other people to come tell them. I say, you know what? XYZ is XYZ. And then tomorrow, they take it and tell it to other people. Like stories of Laja Bless. A man will tell you, oh, gosh, I never see a Laja Bless, but I know somebody that tell me they see one already. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the St. Lucian mentality, and we need a paradigm shift in. I think the government should have a brand new initiative. Like in the summertime, the children who are in secondary school, primary school, whatever, they should have an assignment as to where they teach the people who are out of school how to read it. It's been done in places like Cuba, Fidel Castro, I think, closed schools for 2 years.
Not only how to read, not only how to read, but how to understand what to read, and also to read between the lines and to be a critical thinker. What we have in St. Lucia, to a large extent, are what you call group thinkers. A group of people sit around a table and they all come into the same conclusion. There's no discernment taking place. There's no counter-argument. There's no comparing of ideas. Nothing of that nature.
No juxtaposing. No one is saying, okay, well, this may very well be true, but you also have these possibilities there. Let's explore that one and see. No one does that, Tim. It's just, as I said, the most popular narrative. And worse thing, if it comes from the mouth of someone who has some type of influence, Tim, everybody just run with it, Tim. That's not just labor, flambeau, or whatever, Tim. It's just the majority of our population, Tim.
Yeah,
that's just how we are. Huh?
That's the norm.
I know. And as I say, we need a paradigm shift. We need to step away from that type of thinking and start thinking more on an individual level. But anyways, Tim, I'm not going to take up all your time. As I said before, vote for Shas if you want better. Vieux Fort South is the future of St. Lucia. Development in the southern tip of our island is what is going to drive our economy for the next 30 to 40 to 50 years. I will not be there. Shasta will not be there. But then again, that's not about us. So we have to adopt the principles of the Native Americans. When you work for the next 7 generations. Just like Sir John, if Sir John did not have the vision of the Roseau Dam and all the works he did, which he knew within himself he would not live to enjoy, but it's not about you and I. We work now for what we want for ourselves so our future can enjoy it, just like our predecessors did. So vote for Flambeau if you all want better in St. Lucia. Anyways, then.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. You too. Amanda, good afternoon to you. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, Spinners. Tim, a few comments here via Facebook. Someone says, how can there be a VAT-free day for Christmas when Parliament is dissolved? A commentary reads, can you vote with an expired ID? Because the manager of one of the candidates said that you can. Is that so? A New Spinner says, good afternoon, every critical thinking individual who has realized that the country is in trouble with the SLP government and is ready to make a change for the better. Good afternoon to all those who walk on their brains, believing that there is anything good with this SLP government. Someone says, everyone to know about the CIP money. Commentary reads, you cannot vote with an expired ID card, but one can vote without an ID card. You must be a registered voter. Someone said there the special prosecutor has become a special undertaker, exhuming air. A New Spinner says, and people are not seeing what's going on in St. Lucia. St. Lucians, wake up. Another commentary reads, SLP must really be scared to use such low-class tactics to win a general elections. Someone says your NewsSpin a suggestion to have someone from the electoral office on your show to remind the public on how to cast their votes correctly. UWP should do the same in their respective communities. Commentary reads, I'm feeling light and the country looks bright, although it is on autopilot. Just knowing that these people are not running the country for until elections. LOL. A NewsSpinner says, when SLPs refuse to accept that they were fooled by fools, their mood will always be red. Another commentary reads, no answer about the CIP money and they think they will win election. No hospital sold our ports, built their own housing complex, but the people get plywood tikai. Tell me if those guys are for us. A commentator says there is nothing special about the special fake prosecutor 2025. He should be before the court for eating our tax money without working genuinely for his salary. Someone says this is like Trump politicizing the Justice Department to go after his perceived enemies. The same is being done here in St. Lucia. A NewsSpinner says, 4 years, the special prosecutor has been getting paid to do nothing. Wow. A few comments here via YouTube. Someone says, no hospital, no airport, no long-time employment for the young people, no housing development. SLP has to go. And the commentary reads, great stuff UWP, we need to gain our sovereignty back. We need supreme independent control of our ports, which the UK Parliament view our ports as the 14th place in the world regarding ports. When it comes to ports, sorry, person did not finish that. But back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update via an extraordinary issue of the Gazette dated today, November the 11th. We have the list of returning officers presiding over the electoral districts, the 17 electoral districts. We have Miss Jean Morrill Grosillet, Miss Marva Daniel Babano, Mr. Jonathan H. Emmanuel, Castries North, Mr. Winston Fulgence, Castries East, Miss Juliana Prosper, Castries Central, Mr. Owen Jean, Castries South, Mr. Mark Thomas, Anstleray Canaries, Mr. Dominic Prosper, Soufre, Miss Marietta Fontenat Chosel, Miss Francisca Saturina Louisi, Labrie, Miss Karen Tobier, Vieux-Fort South, Miss Lucretia Poleon, Vieux-Fort North, Mr. Pius Bassier, Miss Miku South, Mr. Sikudina, Alce Miku North, Miss Brenda Paul, Dennery South, Mr. Patrick Freeman, Dennery North, and Miss Brenda Calixt, Castries Southeast. The list of returning officers for the island's 17 constituencies. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello?
Hi, is this NewsSpin?
This is NewsSpin, and you are on the air.
Good afternoon, team.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm trying to see if you can answer. So I live in the U.S. I'm on the voters list, but I don't have I don't have a St. Lucian ID. Are we able to vote?
I think
with our U.S. ID?
With the U.S. ID, no. You have to vote with your St. Lucian ID.
So that's not possible. Yeah. Even if you're on the voters list, because in my mind, all they need is proof of.
Yes, I guess if somebody can identify you as well.
Oh, okay.
If somebody if somebody can identify you, then you can also vote. You can participate in the process.
Okay, that makes sense. And one other thing I want to tell St. Lucians, I'm coming to St. Lucia to vote because I need Mr. Chastney back in office. But I'm telling St. Lucians, don't vote on that promise that PJP made about those bonuses and their promises, empty promises, just like he made his empty promises for the 1,500. Because he's playing the politics really well. Because he called the election before that bonus was given. So in St. Lucian's mind, let's vote for PJP so we get that bonus. I think, I'm not too sure, but I think that UWP did say they promised bonuses for civil servants.
Yes.
So, St. Lucians, the right thing, we need to get the SLP out of office. We need team, I'm coming to St. Lucia yearly. And team, that's the worst. The roads are the worst. I come out of that supermarket with one little bag in my hands. It was $150 something. No, we can't leave. I don't know how solutions live in St. Lucia. I would not be able to survive. Literally.
We have gotten accustomed to our misery, caller.
Tim, we need them out. Thank you for taking my call, Tim, and thank you for confirming, because I will be leaving on November 26th.
All right.
And I will be on island.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, welcome. Somebody says that, Tim, I'm a retired permanent secretary who worked under the last United Workers' Party administration. I was also contacted by phone by a police officer attached to the Office of the Special Prosecutor with a list of questions about a project. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Of questions about a project.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Good afternoon. I'm okay.
I'm good. And Amanda, are you good?
Good afternoon, caller. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. Tim, I want to speak to an advertisement I see going out containing information that should be useful to St. Lucian people, but it really isn't. I'm talking about the financial statements for the Citizen by Investment Unit. And the figure being quoted in that advertisement suggesting that there's a total revenue of $240 million, and there's a suggestion that this $240 million has come from the sale of, I use the word advisedly, the sale of passports. And this is far from the truth. When you want to listen to the financial statements, and I'm reading it now, note 1 to the financial statements, because the financial statements are basically broken down into 2 sections. There is the actual numbers, like the statement of financial position, which normally we call the balance sheet. And we also have the notes to the statements, which gives explanations on stuff in the balance sheet and so on. The notes to the financial statement says that the unit's primary function is for the general administration of the Citizen by Investment program of St. Lucia. So it tells you what the unit, that is what is called the Citizen by Investment Unit. And that in a sense should guide you as to the items that appear in the income statement, if you will, what they mean. So when you now go to the income statement and you look at the income statement, I'm just going through it as I'm speaking now. You see, the income statement has an item called revenue, right? And the revenue is at $240 million, which is what we're talking about. What it's Richard Frederick. I hate using the name, but he was in there talking about $240 million. When you look at note 12, note 12 tells you the $240 million is comprised of about 10 items. The first one is due diligence fees, and that takes up the bulk of the revenue. Due diligence fees is $133 million out of the 240. Now, the due diligence fees are effectively that applicants to the unit for passports, etc., are required to pay certain monies which are going to be directed towards doing due diligence exercises over those persons. And by due diligence fees, what you've got to do is compare it with what the banks do. The bank, when you go to a bank to open an account, there's something called Know Your Customer, and they give you these forms to fill out and so on. Except that these things are a lot more complex because of the international nature of the things. So the due diligence fees are basically going to go back out because exercises have got to be taken, and that is supported by. If you look in the expenses, you will also see an item called due diligence fees.
So in effect, you're saying we are paying for that service.
Yeah, you've got to pay.
We contracted out, okay.
Right. So when you go down lower, you will see that in actual fact, under another note 14 program costs, due diligence fees is $88 million. So much of that money goes out there. So it's really not a revenue per se. The administrative fees is an element of the amount you pay for the passport. A percentage of it goes into administrative fees, and that among the 88 million comes from the sale of passports. And that's the only connection you have between the two statements, between the sale of passports and the CIP directly. Then lower down, you see stuff like an allotment from the National Economic Fund, administrative fees from COVID, whatever, processing fees. And there's another item called other income, which is $4.6 million, which are a huge difference over the 576,000 from 2023. But the important thing to note is that these statements, when you look at them, you should realize that the income from the sales of the passport does not appear in these financial statements. So that these things, the monies we collect from the sale of the passports, in fact, are not audited. We don't know anything about it. And it is not audited here, and it's not audited anywhere else. So I want people to understand that in the first instance. All the items in these set of financial statements are to do with the running of the unit. It has absolutely nothing to do, in the sense of the collection of the monies. These things are out there. We don't know what's happening to it. That's the first thing. The other thing is now, when you go back and do a trend analysis of the applications received and processed and then rejected, we find out that over the period if we look at the period from 2017 to now, at the end of 2024, we have 5,217 applications to be considered, right? 5,200 and thing applications to be considered, meaning that as of that date, from all the applications we received during the year for inception, up to that point in time, we have these applications which have not yet been considered. Now, the actual applications approved during 2024, the year under question, was 1,171,000. Now, those applications, and if, for example, we average and say each application is $200,000, for example, all right? Let's say it's 20,000 US, all right? It means that in actual fact, at a minimum, they would have collected money totaling about 600 and something million dollars would have been collected in connection with the sales of passports. That does not appear in these statements. It does not. We don't know about it at all. And this is the information that you couldn't get from Hilaire to tell him, so he can say, where are those monies? So we have about $620 million totally unaccounted for and not audited. We don't know where that money is. He said that in the case of Galaxy, this money belongs to Galaxy and it went directly into an escrow account. But one has to ask the question, does anybody have a right to contract the proceeds of sale of a passport to a third party without the permission of Parliament? I don't remember seeing any legislation where that was done, but it effectively, this is what has happened, right? The money has been contracted out and it's gone into an escrow account that we, the St. Lucian people, have no access to it legally, and Galaxy can do whatever they want with it. So that is the unfortunate position we find ourselves in. Now, at the end of 2024, we had 5,000 passports outstanding. And you may recall, in the first half of 2024, there was a delay in getting information from Hilaire because at that point in time, there was an attempt to get all the islands onto one page as far as these the processing of these things are concerned. And St. Lucia was holding out signing that memorandum on the grounds that they had contracts in train, they had already committed themselves, and so they didn't want to go ahead and change the basis for this for the whole processing of these passports. That 5,217, in fact, have probably all been issued because, again, you will remember, Hilaire was in Dubai and there was a video where he was speaking to people in a gathering, and he was saying that we have these large numbers going out, 5,000 and something. All right? Do you remember that, Tim?
Yes, I can recall, yes.
So those 5,000 may well have gone out. But more importantly, after they signed off that agreement coming out of the whatever it is, more passports would have been sold but this would have been sold after the year end, after March 31, 2024. And again, we don't know. Now, if you look at 5,000 passports, averaging again $200 million for each passport, we start to talk about the billions that we hear about. And some people find it difficult to grasp it. But 200,000 multiplied by 5 million, by 5,000, we up at the rate, that's $1 billion. And this money is what Hilaire is telling us is beyond us. It's gone into what's it named, the escrow account. You follow what I'm saying, Tim?
Yes, I do.
And $1 billion is $2.7 million EC. And if you combine that with the 620,000 I spoke to earlier, right? We're talking now up to $3 billion EC dollars. And there is no audit of that at all. And we, besides not having the actual funds in our hands, we have no corresponding asset. This money has not been applied to anything. So it's not fun to see when people are talking about these large sums of money. It is a reality. Now, one of the things that disturbed me quite a lot was when I was looking through the recent judgment we had in respect of the application that was filed for judicial review. And that concerned me as a professional accountant. In more than one place, the unit was actually blaming the auditors for a delay in finishing the financial statements and finishing the audits. And over the years, as a practicing auditor, what we've got accustomed to is that people, whenever they haven't done what they should be doing to facilitate a timely audit, they blame the client. So we get blamed by the non-revenue, we get blamed to the banks, we get blamed to the customers, to the creditors. Always the auditor is late. But that is hardly the truth, because professional auditors do extensive planning so that audits are completed in a timely manner. And 9 times out of 10, if an audit is delayed because the client didn't do what the client was supposed to do, and we now have to make adjustments to all our plans, it has impacts on other people's financial statements once a critical one goes out of line. And that offended me immensely to see that in a legal document in more than one place, they were saying the auditor held them back. And that was a very, very sad thing to see. Now, the audited statements for the financial year 2024 for 2025, that should have been completed, gone through the parliament, so and everything else.
That's from September. What? April 2024 to March 2025, right? That period?
25.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All that reporting should have been completed by September 30, right? And in that court report I was talking about, the CIP presented to the court that the delay had been caused because there was a change of auditor, and they committed that the report will be ready by July the 2nd. Today is November the 11th.
November the 11th.
November the 11th, and those statements still are not out as yet. So actually, the government has gone out of office, and we still haven't had the result of those financial statements. And all that information is critical to even people who wish to participate in the voting process, because it comes back now to the integrity and the accuracy of the comments coming out of the past government. And that is entirely unfair to have so much money floating around in the stratosphere somewhere and nobody can tell us what it is. I am hoping that when Hilaire comes on, I'm not holding my breath, I'm hoping that when he comes on tonight, and I don't know in what capacity he's going to be addressing us. He's not the minister anymore. He is now just a candidate, Mr. Hilaire, if you will. And I don't know if he can tell us what has happened to all those funds out there. But it is critical that people have the opportunity to speak with him so they can explain to people perfectly well what went on, and we get a sense of it. And we are talking, Tim, despite the surprise and people blowing hot air over these large sums of money, these monies are real monies, and we have to not let it go. We have to talk about it.
All right, sir. All right, Tim. All right, thank you so much.
I've spoken fairly quickly, but I hope people understand, get the gist of what I'm trying to say. But indeed, there are billions unaccounted for out there, billions which have been unaudited, and nobody's speaking about it. That cannot be right.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. You just heard there from St. Lucian Chartered Accountant, Mr. Frank Myers. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, also commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. That is WhatsApp them at 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com. That is SMAKFREIGHT.com. More of your calls and your WhatsApp messages still to come on this, the most monitored talk show in the world.
What if the next drop is the last? St. Lucia is facing longer, more intense dry spells, and our water sources are drying up. And when the rains come, they come harder and faster, damaging our homes and disrupting our water supply. But we can change the outcome. By conserving water and protecting our sources, every small action adds up. WASCO, working in collaboration with the Water Resource Management Agency, is committed to securing our water future. But we need your help. Together, we can protect our water, our health, and our future. One small step can make a big impact. Let's secure our water and secure our future. For more information, visit wascostlucia.com.
Yeah, man. Great job, guys. I love it.
Yeah, man. You see how the place starting to look nice?
Not just nice. This STEP program creates a safer and healthier community for all of us who live in. CIP is doing so many good things in the communities and providing jobs for us. It's a win-win for everyone. I am the I in CIP.
I am the I in CIP. It's about our citizenship by investment program.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that tries. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Good and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey, mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss. KFC, burning flavor. Set the mood, strips and dip is back. Finger licking good.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelect. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit Lucelect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelect.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique de Corps, because time is vital in health.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
If you're working for a while, come by Cots, I'll make you smile. Cots Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. Black Friday starts now at Cots. Yeah, it's back. Cots Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast. Traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. And furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? Say yeah. Weekly prices. Biggest and best deals of this season. Shop and credit to win big. And pay nothing until next year, January. Rock out and come down to Coats. Cots already load. Cots already load. Black Friday starts. Cots already load. And go when Black Friday come out.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Every day, St. Lucian women give everything to their families, communities, and dreams. Yet breast cancer still claims too many lives. Now, St. Lucia is making history. For the first time, state-of-the-art 3D mammography is available right here at home. Donated by the World Bank through the Health Sector Support Program, these advanced machines are a major step forward in universal health coverage, and they're free. Women 40 and older or younger, if at risk, can access this life-saving service. Visit your local wellness center for a referral. Early detection saves lives. Free mammograms, universal coverage. Your wellness center is your first step.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
And helping the single mothers, those who are unable to take care of themselves, give them the support that they need.
They have been backing up their work, so it's good.
Improvement on elderly care.
My government is working and nobody cannot move my government there. Well, as a nice worker, I'm feeling great.
They are so thankful to be permanent, to have a job that they can rely on. They can go to the bank, you don't have their business done.
All the time Shasney was there, $200. Shasney was giving it. As fear comes, fear put it $500.
Now we can go to a bank and take any loan.
All them UWP fellas that are getting all the benefits. He, a typical UWP, you're getting 2 something a month in pension. They put it $500. I lived in London for 20 years.
So we need someone who can actually relate, who is relatable. Shashna is not.
And I would say to you that this government, I have not seen any better governance in this country in a long time.
The government is working very well.
Let me tell you, the man is working. The man is working. Seriously, the man is working. You just call him. You just call Mr. Edward, and then Mr. Edward just say, okay, give me whatever, or send me this, send me that, and it's working. It is. You know, I'm really, really, really happy. I'm satisfied.
My government is working for me, and my rep, Mr. Alva Jebaki, is working for me.
My employee AP nice, at which my quotas are bien.
I tell you, I have to walk with 2 pairs of shoes. When I get to the main road, I change, I wet my feet, I put my shoe. But now it's just step. You know? Here we had, our road was so bad, and now look at our roads. Every single place you pass, we don't step in mud anymore.
And it was high time that we had something good to say, that the minimum wage came out, and I love it for St. Lucia.
Well, if you've been in the land for 30 years, you can get a title of it if the government allows you to do that and stuff.
The government is working, and I'm satisfied.
This is a great policy with a capital G.
The government is working.
There's a lot of youths around here wasn't working. Everybody going to work now.
Everything better, money flowing, right? Everything better.
My government working.
If somebody not seeing that this government is doing well, is somebody that probably have a wooden glasses.
We stand with Mr. Pierre, and my choice is clear.
This was a paid political advertisement.
Are you hearing me? The CIP, $240 million it brought to us in 1 year.
If they made $240 million, why is it that our families are going to the hospital and there's no medicine and there's no bed for the young people of this country or for the solutions themselves?
240 million in a year. Are you hearing me? The CIP, $240 million it brought to us in 1 year.
If they made $240 million, why is it that our families are going to the hospital and there's no medicine and there's no bed for the young people of this country or for the solutions themselves?
240 million in a year.
You just heard there from Mr. Richard Frederick and also Mr. Alan Chasney on this, the most monitored talk show in the world, on the planet. And we're trying to establish contact with a particular individual. Let me take the opportunity now to go over to Amanda and let's go through some comments extracted from the chat rooms, Facebook and YouTube.
Tim, a few comments from earlier. Someone says here, am I hearing that the special prosecutor has become a reckless prosecutor? A comment here reads, under Sir John, there was a literacy program to teach the illiterate how to read and write. A NewsSpinner says, that's correct, VA4 is the maker for driving our developments. Someone says there, the special prosecutor and the DPP, aka the silent ninjas. No one knows what they do, they don't even know what they do. A commentary reads, they're boasting employments, the same call centers. Someone says there, since the mood is red and the victory is imminent, I hope proper development of St. Lucia doesn't go slow for another 5 years, because at this rate it's going to take 30 years to see true development like what UWP is capable of. St. Lucians are pushing for the hot red color, noise, excitement, jump up, free rum and handouts. Hooray, hooray, hooray for St. Lucia. A NewsSpinner says special prosecutor found his voice right before the election. A commentary reads, the special prosecutor, is now getting himself busy. Someone says there, we now need UWP potential ministers to say what they will do about GPH, CIP, and to procure our ports as soon as they are elected. A commentator says, team, when is the debate between Alan Chasney and the Prime Minister? A NewsSpinner says, breaking news, the plan is to do a fake opening this Sunday so people think they've delivered on the hospital. Another commenter says, no medication, high gas prices, no hospital, no security, but SLP is spending thousands, putting up billboards all over the place. That's putting you first.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for the update. We have somebody who was on the line, wanted to address a particular issue, so let me just say good afternoon to her. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. You are on the air. This is NewsSpin. Hello.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, good
Hi.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Could you hear me?
Loud and
Hi.
clear. Okay, this is
Tina
Charles.
Charles.
Yes, Miss Charles.
Yes.
What's on your mind? You needed to
it
address a
seems
particular
that
issue.
A lot of issues because apparently in St. Lucia it is not a democratic country anymore. Because it's not no longer leadership, it's dictatorship. If you don't do what I say, I will do whatever it takes to get you to shut up. And that's the situation. Because that started over 3 years ago. It started in 2021. And that's the last, because we have a few letters I want to address. The lives on Facebook, the garbage bin, and the famous wall, which has become an issue. Okay?
I'm listening
This
to you.
started when last election, last nomination day, when I decided to go live and address some of his followers as rum dogs, where one, I was doing the nomination for Fortuna Belrose, and one tried to hit my child, and I ran after her behind a bus, and I went live. And after election, they said, don't worry, you'll be without power by Christmas, and that was true. I lost my salary. That's the letter I show from Henix, the controller, right? Because everybody figure I have a rage against him, and I'm not talking about it, but they want to know why. And everybody else try to attack me in all types of ways. The part of me saying about the news part about the wall, right? No, let me finish the first story, the 2021 story. When I decided to go after him, he had just gotten into politics. The guy that was helping me was fired. He was ridiculed online. Okay? So the other tenants, myself and this man, we had a conversation. And they said, Tina, you may have a powerful family to back you. You have your carnival band. But we have our business. What if me do us the same thing he do you? So I was put in a position where I had to consider either go after him, knowing maybe I may lose because he in power. He already showed me that he in power, that if I try to, the person not helping me, they set a message to Crown Lands that if anybody else help me, they're going to suffer the same fate with that man. So Crown Lands was not willing to help me. Lucilec couldn't prove to me that they had any letter. So my salary that was giving me $4,000 a month from rental of my 8 stations alone had to be closed. I had to go back to working, go back to elderly care. And I've lived with that, okay, and not saying anything. He has disrespected me.
Okay, ma'am, but hold on, eh?
Verbally.
Hold on, ma'am. We cannot talk about things that are unfounded, things we cannot prove. But I think what is in the public domain...
I could prove these things.
No, I'm just saying to you...
Right?
What is in the public domain and what we can relate to is that incident involving the wall. That's in a section
All right,
of
so let's
Darling
get
Road.
to the wall. Let's get to the wall situation. So I got a call. And they tell me, you paint the wall? I say, we paint the wall. So I say, no. So when I came home, I saw the wall was being painted. So I went live. And I said, what's that? You've meant to tell me that's what you're doing. You just nonsense. And I talk about desecrating the wall by painting it and watch architecture and what, you know. So that aggravated them. Right? The wall was still painted. That finished. The wall was painted for over 3 weeks before anybody said anything about the wall. Okay? So Stanley then decided he wanted to use part of the wall to do part of his paraphernalia. The story only came up when the guy came back to repaint the paraphernalia and he ended up knocking me in my face. So this is when I went to the media. I didn't go on the media on behalf of the Gordons. I stood on behalf of what happened to me because I was the one in the situation. I was the one he hit when he come and repaint the wall. It wasn't the Gordons, but they spin it into that. Okay? I never asked to be called a representative of the Gordon. Why should I? My surname is Charles, and I'm proud of who I am. So they decided to attack me and say all sorts of things. So I answered them. Everything they say I accepted. The only other way they thought they could have come after me is to say that I would have gotten notice. So Shelton went on, I think they have some radio station, some live, whatever, and somebody sent me a video of he saying that I got notice. I did not get notice. And I have, and if you want, like I said,
but you actually got.
I don't have to read it to the public.
Yeah, but can you give us?
I've gotten letters.
Yeah,
I've gotten letters.
And
I don't have to. Like I said, if you want, I could meet you personally and show you the contents of all the letters. But none of them is an eviction notice.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
You've been living in that area for. You have been living in that area for how long now?
In and out for about 5 years, and then permanently 10 years.
Okay.
I used to live with Mr. Gordon, deceased Lyndall Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said to them, whatever they want to call me, whatever they want to class me as that. So whatever they try to put, I put it in the lowest degree because y'all want to ridicule me and make a joke because I decide to stand for what is right. I decide not to stand for disrespect. And y'all decide to threaten. Then I was getting death threats. This is where the warning video came out. And then this is where I decided, well, okay, since you're going to go there, I'm going to go into depth and show you all that I have proof of what I'm saying. I'm not just saying what I'm saying. Those say things you'll hear. Signatures and documents makes proof. And unless you could prove that to me, then what you're saying is not. But I have letters I could prove to you that says different. So now that I have a letter, that I've showed them the contents of the letter, certain people, they're now saying that the property is sold and they're going to give me $100,000 as my share and all kind of nonsense. That's okay. Whatever you all say, I'm fine with it. I have embraced my life. And what I've proved to you all that I am resilient and I will keep fighting for what is right. We are not, St. Lucia is a democratic country. I don't have to be your parliamentary rep or your boss's friend. No, I don't have to like him. But I have to respect him, and I deserve the same respect. We have to live by morals and understanding. And that's the whole thing is about respect. The fact that people feel they could disrespect people. And the lengths that politicians and people in the domains and people in power would your length of to keep me shut is willing to try and get me homeless. That's the length you'll go. But I have trend coming up. We have election coming, and that's the kind of leadership you want my children to believe in. I am a mother, a single mother of 4 children. The man I used to live in that house with is dead. My children, my younger children, fathers are dead. I'm a single mother. You already take my salary from me. And now you want to take, and imagine you're trying to get me homeless because you feel I should shut up. And you say that's leadership. And we're supposed to vote for you? Think about it, St. Lucia. Small words for small airs. Because you all say I'm a weed head. Of course, I'm proud I was smoking marijuana. So I came on a video showing that I do smoke, but I'm still intelligent. I'm still talented. Smoking weed don't make you stupid. And that is the entire situation of the whole. So they could go on rumors. And I'm willing at any time, Timothy, to meet you personally, come to DBS and show you every content of every letter I've gotten. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And then you would say for yourself. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so much for speaking with us on this afternoon's NewsSpin program. I just heard there from Miss Tina Charles. Amanda, what is happening in the chat room?
Tim, continuing from earlier on, our commentary reads, thank you, Frank Miles, for bringing this important CIP matter back to the forefront. This has been the biggest theft of our nation's money under this Philippine government. Someone says that this caller is making a very enlightening contribution. That's information that's not being shared with us by the SLP government, but St. Lucians rather the happy times instead of the real issues affecting our country. Commentary reads, Special Prosecutor, since you're now in a working mood, investigate who is threatening this young lady. And NewsSpinner says, I do not know how many signs we need to see that this SLP administration is just disrespecting and fooling us with flashing mirrors and fancy words. A few comments here via YouTube. Someone says December 1st is the day we are all anticipating. A commenter says Tim, so Mr. Pierre played a very analytical game with the people of this country, and I truly applaud his bravery. Commenter reads, NewsSpin, don't you think it is critical that we have an independent election observer for this upcoming election? Someone says their SLP is running scared with all those scare tactics. Too late for that. It seems SLP realize they are losing their 17 seats. The mood is dread. Commentator says via YouTube, Tim, I have a sour feeling St. Lucians will not change the government. It's PJP's strategy works. If PJP's strategy works and is re-elected, I do not want to hear anything bad about PJP ever again. And the commentary says, Lucians hearing this and still not allowing it to process in their brains, they still will shout, PJP did well. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Somebody says there is asking, Tim, did you hear that the Nigerian president is there? Is it true? Please check. No, I don't have that kind of information at all. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, how will we, the OKEU hospital goods and service suppliers, contractors, get paid now that Parliament is dissolved? That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see if we have some more of your messages to share. Somebody says there, Mr. Philip J. Pierre has requested all SLP supporters to vote all independent candidates, so Labour must go. Talking about independent candidates, the island's chief elections officer, Mr. Herman St. Helen, was featured in a report filed last evening by HTS News, and making reference to several independent candidates contesting the island's upcoming general election. That will include 5 independent candidates contesting the Micoud North seat. Here is Mr. St. Helen.
I could tell you, interestingly, that Micoud North has the most. So Micoud North has about 5 persons. Vieux-Fort South has 1. Ancillary Canaries has 1. The regulars are there. Castries North has at least 2. So yes. So Vieux-Fort South has 2. So there's an increase, as I can see, in the number of independent candidates. But the interest seems to be in Micoud North. Micoud North seems to have the most applicants as independent candidates.
You just heard there from Mr. Herman St. Helen, who is the island's chief elections officer. So come nomination day, this will be formalized. You know, when they clearly indicate that they want to contest as independents and the other candidates who want to contest on a St. Lucia Labour Party or United Workers' Party tickets. But according to what Mr. St. Helen just said there, we could have at least 11 independent candidates contesting the upcoming general election. And interesting enough, in Micoud North, at least 5 independent candidates. Now, earlier in that contribution that was made by Ms. Tina Charles, she referenced a comment that was made by Mr. Shelton Daniel on his show. Somebody just sent me that clip. Let us play that clip to find out exactly what that discussion was all about. Reference to Miss Tina Charles. So we'll try to get it in as soon as possible. In the meantime, let me see if I could go through one of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, just bear with me, trying to get this one. And it says, Tim, the Golden Dragon was bluffing. Election is around the corner. And we have another message to go through. Somebody says, where is Rick Wayne? Been waiting to hear from him. I suspect Rick Wayne is taking a break and will be coming out of that sabbatical when he deems it necessary. Another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there, when will Richard Frederick resign? As he said, because the hospital will not be completed. Okay, we have that clip featuring Mr. Shelton Daniel.
Bringing irrelevance here, but now that you mentioned Richard, you choke him a little bit. You know, the lady who went about making noise about the wall, about who owned the wall, I think she learned a lesson, you know, that sometimes it's better to keep your head down. It's better not to make too much noise. It's better to make yourself invisible and, you know, be a little more quiet. Because you know what I understand has happened? She got a letter ordering her to forget the person, you know, from people who carry the name of Gordon, you know. You know, she came there speaking for the Gordons, like she's a Gordon, like she's the executor or the administrator of the Gordon estate. Now, maybe that is what caused the real Gordons, the true Gordons, the legitimate Gordons, to hear her and to decide, hey, but by the way, what are you doing there? That property. What are you doing there? And so where she may have been quite comfortable and being pretty inside there, but now she gone there, she eat too much orange, she drink too much orange juice. You know, a lot of people tell me until this thing is resolved, they're not eating a wine again at all, you know. But, you know, I think they've ordered out. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so... But you heard the leading question, Ms. Tina Charles saying that she was not speaking on behalf of the Gordons. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, we'll be going through our NewsSpin question of the day. We also have the NewsSpin news of the day. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It's simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. Once again, the WhatsApp number is 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com, SMAKFREIGHT.com. Back in just a bit.
If you're working for a while, come by Courts, I'll make you smile. Courts Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. Black Friday starts now at Courts. Yeah, it's back. Courts Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast. Traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. And furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? Say yeah. Weekly prices. Biggest and best deals of this season. Shop and credit to it big. And pay nothing until next year, January. Rock out and come down to Courts. Courts already load. Courts already load. Black Friday starts. Courts already load. And go when Black Friday come out.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui pou ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
Ho, ho, ho. I had a dream that I, Santa, will be giving away amazing gifts this Christmas at Europa Hardware in Massad Grosile. I saw a Karcher pressure washer, a vacuum cleaner, steel brush cutters, Metabo power tools, even a welding machine, tile cutter, and Leo water pump. Just spend $500 or more between now and December 19, 2025. And your name and number goes into the box to be drawn. Christmas couldn't be better. Only Europa is making things so merry. Ho, ho, ho. It's not a dream, it's a fact. Shop at Europa Hardware. Call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that rise. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Golden and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss. KFC, burning flavor. Set the mood, strips and dip is back. Finger licking good.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
I am Ernest Hilaire, Minister for Tourism, Investment, Culture, Creative Industries, and Information. St. Lucia has entered a new chapter, one of record-breaking growth, community empowerment, and sustainable tourism. Just a few years ago, our tourism sector was facing unprecedented challenges, but we saw an opportunity and we took it. Today, we are proud of what we've achieved. We are breaking records. Over 450,000 stay-over arrivals, over 829 cruise passenger arrivals, thousands of hotel rooms being constructed, over 25 community projects launched across St. Lucia. We are making progress. We are transforming the tourism industry. We are putting St. Lucians first. And for us, it is important that our people participate more in the tourism industry. It's important that our people start owning the tourism industry. We are delivering as we promise. From vibrant carnival expressions to authentic community experiences, we are not just growing, we are growing together.
This was a paid political advertisement. Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
Are you building, renovating, or just looking to add something to your property? Then look no further. The Block Factory has all your concrete product needs in stock. From 4-inch to 12-inch concrete blocks to high-quality concrete pavers at an affordable price. Whether your project is big or small, we're ready to serve you. Visit us today on the Cul-de-Sac Bextor Highway, right at the entrance of Ferron, next to the Stone Surgeon. Top quality blocks await you. Call us at 720-6752. The Block Factory, building your future one block at a time.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
different, and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow fast pay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow fast pay. Flow fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
I do not like the politicians have a big stage, thousands of rallies, and we're not educating our people. Essentially, it's deliberate. We keep our people poor and uneducated and dependent on a handout, man, just for our political gain. You cannot exploit your own people. If you have a love for your people, most people are your cousins, relatives, fourth cousins. You cannot keep people down in a kind of gimme mentality, $100 or $200 there, and just for vote and keep them in darkness and ignorance, Gasa. We have to elevate our people, enlighten our people. Let them see policy. Let them learn to read, listen, and then decide. If you're just about Labour Party, no problem. Even say Labour, no problem. But I think of deliberately keeping people poor. No development. No, don't talk about what before that. Where I'm from, it doesn't mean I'm before 28 years. Only SNS in town that keeping before town viable. Like a ghost town, people come like Ansari Village or Denny Village. A place with so much flat land, geographical, logistics for industry. You have a port, you have an international airport, you have flat land. That's like a gold mine begging to be developed before crying to be developed, crying, and nothing is being done. The politicians, you'll had your day, you'll played, you'll dance for the past years. You see this coming 5 years there? Whoever wins, God bless you. The free and fair way. But don't think you have to come and have total power again. You're making deals and you're telling people that. Before election, you have your town hall meetings. Come to the people first. Get a feel from the people and people know we intend to do this. We intend to give our seaports. That's a serious thing. Nothing, correct me please, am I in 40 years, am I in 40? Which one is it?
It's 30 years with an option to renew for another 10 years.
No.
In the first instance, it's 30 years with an option to renew for additional 10.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Tim, I don't preach violence. I don't believe in violence. I'm not a violent person. But you see, that has to change, eh? If it's one time I take to the streets by myself with a flyer and I am a nobody, I don't have title, I'm a nobody. But one thing, I have an influence. I tell you that. Tim, I will take to the streets if that thing doesn't change. GPS can't have our port for 40 years, guys. That's nonsense. Maximum exam is 10 years, maximum. And we have a clause that it can be 7 years. Nah, that can happen. And there'll be a lot of people now that quiet, but the people angry about how things happen, and they will come out in. People you'll never saw on the streets. You'll see them with a placard. People you have never seen. Right, Tim? Brother Tenacious Tim and Princess Amanda, thank you very much.
But won't you, John Daniel, weren't you caught napping? Because now you're talking about taking to the streets to protest against that GPH deal. It has been signed already. There was a lot of discussion about it, and nobody did anything about it except the opposition who spoke.
Tim, okay, can I speak?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tim. For your information, I speak the truth, only heard about GPH when it was signed, sealed, and all over.
Contributor to NewsSpin last week, John Daniel, the former host of DBS's Street Vibes. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you today?
I am okay. How about you, caller?
I'm good. Great job with the interviewers. It's really interesting, very informative.
Thank you.
But there's only one concern. I live in Toronto. I live in Canada. There's a caller from the US. She spoke about her ID and she wanted to go voting. Just for clarification, I voted with my Canadian passport 5 years. 4.5 years past. So just to let her know, she can, because on every passport, there is this line that says that you are born in whatever country. So that St. Lucia name that's right there, St. Lucia, this she can vote with her US passport. Just to let her know that, yeah. Because I did vote with my Canadian passport.
Okay.
4 years past back.
Okay.
And secondly, in regards to the whatever is going on in St. Lucia, I find that the election right now is very, very disrespectful. I don't agree with that as a St. Lucian, and very violent. And this is all I have to say. We just have to try to calm it down a little bit if we could, regardless of the party that you're voting for. Like, it doesn't make sense. You know, all the calling names and disrespecting the prime minister, disrespecting the, like all those in uniform. It just doesn't look nice for us as St. Lucian. So this is what I have to say.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Calling from
Thank
Canada. Let's take the opportunity now to hear from Father Albert and Father St. Tut. They were on their program, I think it was last Thursday, What's Your Point, which is aired on Thursday evenings, right here on Power 97.9 FM. And what they said, in a nutshell, is support your party with class. I know that will fall on certain deaf ears, but support your party with class. Here is Father Albert and Father Situt.
When you go and you create the kind of discord and the confusion and the when you go and you create the kind of discord and the confusion and the bacchanal and this kind of things, how do you return? How do you continue after this? You know? I say to people, while I respect you for whatever party you want to support, do it with dignity and class.
Yes.
Do it with dignity and class. Do not do it déclassé. Do not go down to the gutter. Do not call people names. Do not speak ill of people.
Yes.
Don't do that.
And now with technology and the kinds of images, or how you call it, help me with the term, the images that you can do with graphics, that we put on social media, is very derogatory.
Let me tell you, social media is good, but we use it for the bad things.
Yes.
Social media.
For a lot of wrong things.
A lot of wrong things. The bullying that happens on social media. The bullying that happens on social media. And now more than ever. And it comes from people who should know better.
Exactly.
People who should know better. It comes from people who should know better.
People take clips there, and they take clips there, and make a video, and then there's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of making fun of others. These things should not be.
Yeah. Again, it's because we have not understood our Christianity.
No.
It is because we have not understood our Christianity. And if we understood our Christianity, we don't behave that way.
No.
If we understood that everyone is made in an image and likeness of God with the dignity of a human person, we don't behave that way.
I say to people, I thank God I've had the experience and the opportunity to minister to politicians on both sides, red or yellow, in terms of ministering to them. And it's both politicians who are now in the current arena, politicians past. I've had the opportunity to minister to them, especially at officiating at funerals of their relatives or parents or grandparents and that kind of a thing. I've had such opportunities, and that is how we need to look at life. I say to people, as a Roman Catholic priest, the person whom the Lord sends to me, I need to shepherd them. I need to pastor them. I need to feed them spiritually. And that's what I do.
Yes.
That's what I do, So, people, the citizenry, St. Lucians, let us do better than that in terms of bringing our Christian practices in our behaviors and our everyday lives. Bring our Christianity in our everyday lives, in the political arena, and let us stop the bullying, the name calling, the derogatory language, and that sort. We need to stop that. We need to stop that.
You just heard from Father Setut, and before him, Father Albert, speaking on their program, which is called What's Your Point? And that program is on a Thursday evening right here on Power 97.9 FM. I know that as well-meaning as you gentlemen are, your admonition, your advice will be falling on deaf ears. Because unfortunately, there are some people who are naturally crass, déclassés, they're demeaning, they are bullies. They know no other way to act than to try to ridicule people, try to make fun of people, insult people in the name of politics and politicians. What is very strange. Sometimes you find individuals who are once supporters of the United Workers' Party. All of a sudden, they have seen the light, and now they are supporting the St. Lucia Labour Party. And they would be on Facebook. And they would say just about the worst things about individuals who are now supporters of a party that they once supported. And it happens both ways, vice versa. The impression has been given by some individuals that you ought to support only one party. There are some people who support the SLP. They believe everyone in St. Lucia, that is so ridiculous, should support the St. Lucia Labour Party. And those on the United Workers' Party side, they believe you should support the United Workers' Party. We keep saying it, as much as sometimes it appears not to be the truth, but we ought to be living in a democracy, to the extent that you support whichever party that you want. The politicians, they reserve the right one day to support the United Workers' Party with a lot of gusto, with a lot of passion, and another day to betray that same party and join the St. Lucia Labour Party. But yet still they don't respect your right to support the party of your choice. In a nutshell, what is required of us as citizens is to be respectful of each other. We will not all see things the same way. We cannot dictate to people. We cannot dictate to adults. No pasa de grand moun en pays Saint-Lucie, ça pour faire. Ou pas qu'à supporter l'étoile ek di en flambeau. Pour qui ça est qu'à supporter flambeau? Eh ben, ou qu'à supporter flambeau, ou vle di étoile, ça pour faire. Ou un bougni en chemise jaune, ou vle jiwe. Ou un lot bonne en chemise rouge, ou vle jiwe. Ça c'est travail Jean Union. Ek moka kwe. Ek tout ces phone nan nou ni. Toutes ces discussions qui ka pren place en la TV, ek radio, en la internet là. Moun kaive en lè. Kote yo kay di. Ka sa gwa moun, kwa sipote parti ou vle, mamele. Na sipote parti mwen vle, nou tout se Saint-Lucien, because apre election, after December the 1st, come December the 2nd, those of us who are poor will still be poor. Those of us who are indigent will still be indigent. The middle class will continue to be the middle class. Those who are rich will continue to be rich. And who knows, they will only get richer. You'll have a new set of politicians entering office with a number of goals. I'm not saying they will not seek to make life better for you their supporters and the voters and the people of St. Lucia. But I can tell you, among their mission is to enrich themselves at your expense, is to ensure that they create a better environment, a better future for themselves, their children, and their family. Don't be fooled by politicians. And also, don't be fooled by politicians who tell you, I have enough money already, and I'm doing it for you, the people. I'm thinking of you. No. They want to have the money, and they also want to have the power to go with it. And believe you me, that puts them in a special category. Money and power. Whilst you now are just poor. You have no money. You have no power. Because what you have done is you have sold yourself short. You attended the rallies. You supported them. What you get? A little chicken, rum, a little promise. Get alcohol. In some cases, free transportation. You are just there to prop them up. And they win, they forget you. You can't contact them. You don't see them in the streets because they are now in the ivory towers. They are well ensconced somewhere. Or they're attending some meeting in Geneva. Or they're in Africa. Or they're in Canada somewhere, pretending to represent your interest. What you owe yourself as a citizen is, and what is your civic duty, is to go out there, vote for the candidate of your choice. Thank God we have that right. Elect an MP into office, one you believe can best represent your interest. Out of that, we'll have a government decided by the people. We'll have the government that the people deserve. And believe you me, in most instances, it is back to square one. It is back to enacting legislation not for the benefit of the masses, the poor people, the working class. It is to benefit the rich in our country. They are the ones who can pick up their phone instantly, call a prime minister, call a legislator, and say, I want you to tweak that legislation on my behalf. You realize how, for example, this administration, they're very slow and passive in enacting the appropriate legislation to deal with the worsening crime problem in our country. I mean, we had, 63, 64 homicides already for this year. They are so slow to do things that will positively impact the masses, such as improving the quality of healthcare. For how long have you been going to the OKEU hospital? No matter what they tell you about free medication and whatever it is. Can't get a bed. Can't get medication. They tell you people of a certain age don't have to pay. Those people have been calling NewsSpin incessantly saying they have to pay for their grandparents. People are still, in some cases, sleeping on the bed, slouching a chair, trying to recuperate. Those same politicians, when they are ill, fly them over to Martinique, end up owing the French government, along with, of course, ordinary St. Lucians seeking medical care there, millions of dollars. But one phone call, and they are over in Martinique. You, a cake raffle, a barbecue, trying to raise funds. Some instances, unfortunately, those people who are ailing from serious health conditions, they succumb. And you are not learning from this. You're not demanding. Now is the time to demand a whole lot from our politicians. Let's start off with demanding that we have a debate between the island's two political leaders. What, my God, is preventing two grown men from meeting somewhere, agree to the moderators, and have a debate on the issues. What we heard from the Prime Minister, can have a debate with this individual because he distorts the facts, etc., etc. We're in the process now. He distorted the facts pertaining to a particular issue that he was addressing. Those politicians are just running scared. They don't want to subject themselves to a serious debate where there can be rules, there can be conditions. They just want to be on the market step, want to be in the boulevard, say whatever they want, and you, the gullible people, you swallow what they feed you without analyzing it to see if there are, there's impediments, there are bones, there are things that could hurt your throat. You just swallow it without ferreting it out or ferreting out the correct information, trying to find out, does it really make sense? Why would you get so much all of a sudden from a government at the last minute? You've been crying for so long. Remove the health and security levy, but it's still there. It was extended from 2 years, extended by the Prime Minister, despite your cries. Now he says he wants to give you what? 1 day VAT-free holiday, and he boasts about it. But he has not won the election, but he's promising you that he'll be giving you that in December. Gives all kinds of things to everyone in St. Lucia on the basis of winning the next general election. Voters, be very, very careful. Amanda, final update from you in terms of what's happening in the chat room.
Tim, a few comments from earlier. Someone says, this Labour MP is just disrespecting St. Lucians. He must stay out of politics. Commentary reads, this is insane. Wait, didn't they run the last elections and have a big show for marijuana rights? Oh my goodness. And NewsSpin says, Kimaji sa Miku North 5, they don't mind losing their $250. Someone says there are so many independent candidates and we haven't seen half of them. So who are they? A commentary reads, Golden Dragon representing Rat Island. Someone says there now that Parliament is dissolved, will there be concessions on barrels? And NewsSpinner says, these men are just nasty and disgusting. You'll use your power to shut the woman up when she was talking for her rights. Just imagine if the original video of Hila's assault video wasn't released. Then the young woman would have been punished for her own rights. Nah man, this SLP party is just sickening. I now see why everyone is scared to speak up. Another commentary reads, oh my goodness, Dr. Hila, you mean tourism got back to normal after COVID? I really thought that Alan Chasney was a madman to think that tourism would get back to normal after COVID. Someone says they're there for crying to be developed and they're red and ready. They like to have this hungry mentality. Another commenter says social media is not the problem, it's what people do with social media that's the problem. People are the problem, not social media. Just like a gun, it won't kill if it's just placed on a table. It has to take someone to pick up that gun for it to kill someone. And NewsSpinner says there's some of these St. Lucians, they threaten you, they insult you, they cuss you out. It's a crying shame. Another commenter reads, and that is why we have reached a stage where politicians think they can only govern for the supporters. Sad, thank God I have no direct gain. Once the country does well, I am good. And the commentary via Facebook, it reads, we need this debate by fire, by force. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks so much. By the way, the concessions on barrels runs from October 15, 2025 to February 28th of 2026. We turn our attention now to our NewsSpin question of the day. Why should it matter whether the SLP or UWP wins the next general election? Our NewsSpin question of the day, followed by the NewsSpin news of the day, and it reads, 6 people killed in 2 new United States attacks on alleged drug boats. 6 people killed in 2 new U.S. attacks on alleged drug boats. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget, like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. I'll be back, God willing, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Goodbye.